तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and we are in the conversations of long chapter, April 5, 1884, a day at Dakshineshwar. And the running topic is Ramchandra's undue criticism of Brahma Samaj. Ramchandra Datta, we see, is sufficiently narrow-minded. Though he was the first to recognize Thakur and be his disciple or devotee, yet this is a problem with him. He has become, as we can say in our language, Ramakrishnite, to the exclusion of all others, to the criticism of others. We were reading in Swami Vivekananda's Bhakti Yoga that some people think loving their God means criticizing other gods, hating other gods. That seems to be Ramchandra's attitude. Now, in this connection, we are studying Thakur's attitude. Thakur both as God himself and as man, an ideal man, a man of experience. And Thakur is telling that there are certain good points in the Brahma Samaj. Though Ram is going on finding fault with them. That is the first point. Now Thakur sees that M has also joined for some criticism. Thakur accepts that. And that is their narrowness or exclusion. So that is the biggest sin in Thakur's eyes. Next to Kam Kanchan, if he has criticized anything, it is this one-sidedness. And so he agrees to that. But we see a new turn. Narrowness is criticized. Does not mean that only Brahmas to be criticized. So Thakur, we say, is shifting to some other side. It is a wonderful insight. Not only those who believe in God without form criticize those who believe in God with forms, but within those who believe in God with forms, also there is exclusiveness and quarrel. So Thakur has shifted in a way, because undue criticism of Brahma Samaj was going on. Thakur has shifted it to the real principle of life, that one should not be narrow and one-sided. That is the beautiful shift. You may say God himself, or you may say the ideal man of experience. And so we see, we stopped there yesterday because of this new topic. So we Take back. Here, Master, he jokes about my arm broken and all that is different thing. The Brahmos insist that God is formless. Suppose they do, it is enough to call on him with sincerity of heart. If the devotee is sincere, then God, who is the inner guide of all, will certainly reveal to the devotee his true nature. But it is not good to say that what we ourselves think of God is the only truth and what others think is false. That because we think of God to be formless, therefore he is formless and cannot have any form because we call him formless. That because we think of God as having form, the other side. That because we think of God as having form, therefore he has form and cannot be formless. Can a man really fathom God's nature? So he has shown formless to form to formless. Now he says this kind of friction exists between the Vaishnavas and the Shaktas. The Vaishnava says, my Keshava is the only savior, wherein the Shakta insists, my Bhagavati is the only savior, only. So that is showing narrowness in the Hindus also. Narrowness in those who think God with form also exists. That is wrong. Once I took Vaishnav Charan to Mathur Babu. Vaishnav Charan, Vaishnav devotee. Mathur Babu, worshipper of Divine Mother. Now Vaishnav Charan was a very learned Vaishnava and an orthodox devotee of his sect. Mathur, on the other hand, was a devotee of the Divine Mother. They were engaged in a friendly discussion when suddenly Vaishnav Charan said, Keshav is the only savior. So the friendly discussion, but this only came. No sooner did Mathur hear this than his face became red with anger and he blurted out, you rascal. Allah. He was a Shakta. Wasn't it natural for him to say that? I gave Vaishnav Charan a nudge. That means Vaishnav Charan, being a sadhak, may understand. So Thakur gave him a nudge, means Thakur made him alert that don't go further in that dispute. Sri is telling natural for Mathur to do that. Because now in the Kali temple campuses itself, there is a Radhakanta temple. But Mathur did not like that only of Vaishnava Charan. That is the point. Mathur is not saying Kali only. Remember the difference here. And so Thakur says, was it not natural for him to be angry? Mathur does not say Kali only because he is worshipping Radhakanta also. Rani Rasmani and Mathur were broad enough. But Vaishnav Charan and Mathur were talking in friendly ways, and when Vaishnav Charan said Krishna only, then Mathur became off. And so Thakur says, wasn't it natural for... So the small, sukshma differences we must mark, otherwise we are misled. And Thakur made Vaishnav Charan alert to that they should not grow in that quarrel. Thakur's case is unique. he just nudged Vaishnava. By his touch, Vaishnava will come to senses. I see people who talk about religion constantly quarreling with one another. Hindus, Muslims, Brahmos, he's taking Brahmos away because they don't believe in Orthodox Hinduism. But not only that, he's differentiating between the sects of Hindus also. Hindus, Muslims, Brahmos, Shaktas, Vaishnavas, Shaivas, all quarrel with one another. So the cause of quarrel also he will tell us. They haven't the intelligence to understand that he who is called Krishna is also Shiva and the primal Shakti. Intelligence to understand? A Buddhi 9. Now, Buddhi 9, okay, one may say a Dharana 9, one may say this Bodha 9, or Buddhi also should understand at least that he who is called Krishna is also Shiva and the primal Shakti. So, all are names only of the same God. And that it is he again who is called Jesus and Allah. So, Thakur mind is very broad. Allah is the name given to God by the Muslims, name given to the same God. So they don't have the buddhi to understand that all these are but names. Now when we come to Shakti and Vaishnava, it may be God is looked at from a different angle, but mainly it is difference in names. That is what Thakur is telling. There is only one Rama and he has 1,000 names. So Rama also is a name. That is because in Bengali, it is rhyming. Ek Ram tar hajar naam. This naam rhymes with Ram. So the name Ram is taken here. One God, many names. But these names and God in English do not rhyme. So Ram and Naam, they rhyme. And that is why Thakur has used this, because when it is rhyming, it appears sweet and meaningful. And he has put this in quotation. That means it is a proverb. The single quotation. There is only one Rama and he has 1,000 names. Truth is one. Now tell the principle. Truth means the absolute reality, ultimate truth. Only it is called by different names. All people are seeking the same truth. So difference should not be between the sadhakas also. The variance is due to now why names are different. The variance is due to climate, temperament, and name. Climate, temperament, and name. Jaiga, patra, naam. Jaiga means India, Pakistan. In that time, Pakistan was not there. Europe, Israel was not there. So, different countries, Jaiga. Within India, in Bengal, this is Vaishnava and Shakta. In other places, other gods. So, due to place, there is difference. Secondly, temperament. That is the main thing. temperament. People like the transcendent aspect of God, so they become devotees of Shiva. Some people even like the destroying nature of Shiva, so they become Shiva Bhaktas. And some people like the protecting nature of God, God the all-pervading, God the who has gone everywhere, protects us. Some people like that aspect, so they become Vaishnava. Some people like God as the mother relation, that also is temperament. So they will call him Divine Mother. Some people like God as Father, they will call him Father. So this is according to temperament. And name. Name means Rama and Krishna are two names. Hari, Vasudev. They all refer to the immanent God. They all refer to Vishnu in real nature. But Ram Bhaktas are different, Krishna Bhaktas are different, mostly. So Thakur has shown the cause of difference is place, temperament, name. Analysis, wonderful, beautiful analysis. A lake has many ghats. Ghats means the build-up steps which we can use for going into the lake. From one ghat, the Hindus take water in jars and call it jal. Hindi or Sanskritized Hindi or Bengali or Sanskrit. From another ghat, the Muslims take water in leather bags and call it pani. Now in Hindi, pani is used, but the Urdu actually is Persian. But the Mohammedans normally using Hindustani, a Hindi colored by Urdu, and they call it pani. Now in Marathi also it is pani. So Hindus also call it pani, but in Thakur saying, the Muslims calling pani. From a third, the Christians take the same thing and call it water. Now here, Thakur has shown some temperament also. हिंदुरा एक घटी থেকে জল নিচ্ছে jar घटी is a pot like well it is like a we may use lota in English a rounded pot we have to say that is the usual pot used by Hindus. Now Muslims carry in leather bags. That is their habit. And in English people or Christians, he has not showed by what they take. So these two specific he has said. And third, Christians call it water. Allah, so by this Thakur's illustration, people understood and they have been happy about it. Suppose someone says that the thing is not jal but pani, or that it is not pani but water, or that it is not water but jal, it would indeed be ridiculous. So showing an equivalent, he shows how ridiculous is that Allah or Ram or Krishna or Shiva names. But this very thing is at the root of the friction among sects, their misunderstandings and quarrels. So Thakur absolutely condemns the quarrels. This is why people injure and kill one another and shed blood in the name of religion. So in Thakur's time also this was there. But that is not good. Everyone is going toward God. They will all realize Him if their sincerity and longing of heart. Sincerity and longing of heart, that is the main force. By any name, you will go to the same God. I told you the story in Chidambaram temple. We have not heard God's name even once in 2 days, only Shiva Shiva. There was a harmony or religious harmony conference in the Haryana Rajbhavan Palace. And that invited a representative of different sects or religions. Now the Sikh, he was a great historian and great scholar. But he said that because Hindus quarreled by different forms and names of God, so the gurus, Sikh gurus, started this God without form. When my turn came, I said, you are a professor of history, but you have forgotten history. This killing was never done by the believers of God with form. Killing has always been a property of the formless people. That you don't forget. So the solution is not form or not form. Solution is God is available in all forms and also without form. And that is what Thakur has come to show. That is the way to harmony. Not that remove forms and make it formless. That becomes another narrow sect. And they only have done murder throughout the history. So they will all realize Him if their sincerity and longing of heart. To M. This is for you. This is means not what he has told up till now, that which is going to tell now. This is for you. All scriptures, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Tantras, seek Him alone and no one else. Only that one Satchidananda, that which is no one else, only that one Satchidananda. Vedas, Puranas, and Tantras seek Him who is that Satchidananda. That means the abstract quality, existence, consciousness, bliss. It will suit whether it is Vishnu or Shiva or anything, or formless or form. That which is called Satchidananda, Brahman in the Vedas. So Vedas like to call him Brahman, but they won't say only Brahman, they will say Satchidananda Brahma is called Satchidananda Shiva in the Tantra. Again, it is he alone who is called Satchidananda Krishna in the Puranas. So he is Satchidananda, has different forms and corresponding to them different names. That is what Thakur wants him to carry the impression. So that topic comes to an end here. The master was told that now and then Ram cooked his own food at home. So master wants to confirm that. Master to M. Oh, Ram did like that. So master to M. Do you too cook your own meals? M. No, sir. Now this is something which is very useful in spiritual life, very pure. Master, you may try it. With your meals, take a little clarified butter made from cow's milk. That will purify your body and mind. Among the food that is supposed to be the purest food, ghee, clarified butter means in English there is no name. Ghee has become popular now. They eat only butter. So ghee, gawa ghee, that means origin is cow's milk. From that, this fried, this clarified butter or ghee is made. Such a ghee, which is from cow's milk, is supposed to be purifier of food. Among the food item, that is the sattvic or very good item. Thakur knows it. So he says, you cook your own food and add a little gawa ghee, cow's milk ghee. That will purify your body and mind. It is shown in Chandogya Upanishad that mind is made by food. The Chandogya Upanishad tells us that the grossest form of food is rejected. The middle form of food becomes the body elements. And the purest or subtlest form of food makes the mind. And there they are shown an experiment. Arun is teaching his son Shetaketu. So Shetaketu says, this I do not understand. Then he says, don't eat food for 14 days, 15 days. Take water as much as you want and come to me. So, because he wants to find the truth, he is ready to do that. Now, water keeps the prana functioning. But for other parts of the body, let us see that. Then he comes back after 15 days to his father. Then his father asks him, tell me something from Rigveda, something from, and nothing he could tell, though he knew. Then his father says, go and take a little food and come back. So he takes a little food and comes back. Then again he asks, and then he is able to tell everything. So his father said, now you see that the mind has 16 parts. 15 parts had become non-existent or exhausted because you had not taken food for 15 days. One part was remaining. And when you saw a little spark, like something was remaining. The fire had almost gone out. But you added a little food, like adding small chips or something to that fire, then it has blazed. And so in that, you could remember, memory was there, but it was clouded. So in this way, the Shetaketu became convinced, yes, it is food which makes the mind. And so this cow's milk ghee will not only purify the body, but also the mind. So automatically everything is scientific. So that much is there. Now, a long conversation ensued about Ram's household affairs. Ram's father was a devout Vaishnava and worshipped Krishna daily at home. He had married a second time when Ram was quite young. Both the father and the stepmother lived with Rama at Ram's house, but Ram was never happy with them, his stepmother. And this sometimes created a misunderstanding between himself and his father. They were talking about this when Ram said, "My father has gone to the dogs." Master, to the devotees, "Did you hear him? Hear that? The father has gone to the dogs and the son is all right." So this outright criticism he has not liked. Ram, there is no peace when my stepmother comes home. There is always some trouble or other. Our family is about to break up. So I say, let her live with her father. Girindra to Ram. Girindra, we have found, is Surendra's brother. Why don't you two keep your wife at her father's home? So he shows by parallel that your logic is wrong. Laughter. Master smiling. Are husband and wife like earthen pots or jars that you may keep the pot in one place and the lid in another? Shiva in one place and Shakti in another. Shiva and Shakti represent man and woman. Ram, sir, we are quite happy, but when she comes, the family is broken up. If such is the case, Thakur does not allow him to complete the sentence. Master, then build them a separate home. That will be a different thing. So they should have home to live, not that stepmother should go to her father. You will defray their monthly expenses. So you are not separating. Only for the sake of peace in the family, you make their home, you pay their expenses. How worthy of worship one's parents are. Rakhal asked me if he could take the food left on his father's plate. That was the custom in India. What do you mean? I said. What have you become that you cannot? But it is also true. Now there is some element of truth in that. So Thakur's talk will be absolutely balanced just from spiritual point of view. But it is also true that good people won't give anyone, even a dog, the food from their plate. This Uchishtam carries the maximum of one's sanskaras, and that is why it is prohibited. Girindra, no logic, huh? Particular cases. Sir, suppose one's parents are guilty of a terrible crime, a heinous sin. Master, what if they are? See, you must not renounce your mother even if she commits adultery. The woman guru of a certain family became corrupt. The members of the family said that they would like to make the son of the guru their spiritual guide. But I said, how is that? Will you accept the shoot and give up the yam? Suppose she is corrupt, will you must regard her as still you must regard her as your Ishta. Though my guru visits the tavern, still to me he is the holy Nityananda. Nityananda was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's companion, and that is a proverb there that he may be corrupt, but the guru point in that represents God, one who has guided me. And that applies to father and mother also. Are father and mother mere trifles? No spiritual practice will bear fruit unless they are pleased. Chaitanya was intoxicated with the love of God. Still, before taking to the monastic life, for how many days did he try to persuade his mother to give him her permission to become a monk? He said so. He said to her, "Mother, don't worry. I shall visit you every now and then." So mother is kept in such honor. And then she agreed to M reproachfully. Now M's condition also was like that. And let me say this to you. Your father and mother brought you up. You yourself are the father of several children, yet you are left home with your wife. You have cheated your parents. You have come away with your wife and children, and you feel you have become a holy man. Your father doesn't need any money from you. Otherwise, I should have cried, shame on you. So, father is his own income. So, Ram is telling you must support your father financially. In M's case, he is telling why you have left them. But he is financially independent. Otherwise, it would have been a worse crime. I would have said, shame on you. Everybody in the room became grave and remained silent. So Thakur has admonished. He has said, only for the sake of God one may disobey the parents, for no other thing. Master, a man has certain debts to pay. Grastha, householder. His debt to the gods and rishis, and his debts to mother, father, and wife. He cannot achieve anything without paying the debt he owes to his parents. What is given by them? So you are indebted to them. A man is indebted to his wife as well. So the concept of panchayatnas is there, but Thakur has broadened it. He is indebted to his wife as well. Harish has renounced his wife and is living here. If he had left her unprovided for, then I should have called him an abominable wretch. So he has provided for them and then left them. After attaining knowledge, you will regard that very wife as the manifestation of the Divine Mother herself. So that is one method. Look at the ideal and then mold your life accordingly. It is written in the Chandi. There is in Durga Bhagavatam, there is a Durga Saptashati that is popularly known as Chandi. It is written in the Chandi, the goddess dwells in all beings as the mother. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matri Rupena Samstita. It is she who has become your mother. So this can be the attitude proper. Goddess living in the mother. Then mind gets connected with God while thinking of your mother. All the women you see are only she, the Divine Mother. That is why I cannot rebuke even Brinde, the maid servant. Aha. She was quite selfish and troublesome, but Thakur cannot scold her. There are people who spout verses from the scriptures and talk big, but in their conduct, they are quite different. Remember, Ram Prasanna is constantly busy pre-cutting opium and milk, procuring opium and milk for the Hatha Yogi. He says that Manu enjoins it upon man to serve the sadhu, but his old mother hasn't enough to eat. That is why I said I feel sorry for his mother. So Thakur is telling the order of serving. Mother and father take precedence over your serving a sadhu, so-called. She walks to the market to buy her own groceries. It makes me very angry because of his father, Krishna Kishore. But here you have to consider another thing. Balance everywhere. When a man is intoxicated with ecstatic love of God, then who is his father? So all this has a limit. All this has a limit. Narad Bhakti Sutra. Lokopi Tavadeva. When a man is intoxicated with ecstatic love of God, then who is his father or mother or wife? His love of God is so intense that he becomes mad with it. So normalcy gone. Then he has no duty to perform. The raw I, has duties to perform to enable him not to become an animal, but possibility of rising. Then he has no duty to perform. He is free from all debts. What is this divine intoxication? In this state, a man forgets the world. He also forgets his own body, which is so dear to all. Chaitanya had this intoxication. He plunged into the ocean, not knowing that it was the ocean. In Vrindavan, there is Yamuna river flowing. He saw the ocean, but he was so intoxicated with love of Krishna that he saw that ocean as Yamuna and so dived into it. He dashed himself again and again on the ground. He was not aware of hunger, of thirst, or of sleep. He was not at all conscious of any such thing as his body. So he's showing Chaitanya's example. Concrete example, then only you will understand and follow. All at once, Sri Ramakrishna exclaimed, Chaitanya, and stood up. That is due to his inner devotion to Chaitanya. So he is giving Chaitanya as an example of ideal, but suddenly that love and divinity of Chaitanya shoots up in him and he says, Chaitanya, and stood up. Master to the devotees. Chaitanya means undivided consciousness. Now, Chaitanya is the name, but Chaitanya, the word, means undivided consciousness. Vaishnacharan used to say that Gauranga was like a bubble in the ocean of undivided consciousness. So, Avatar is a bubble in the undivided consciousness. That is the idea about the Brahman, absolute. To the elder Gopal, he was older than Thakur himself. Do you intend to go on a pilgrimage now? Gopal, yes, sir. I should like to wander about a little. Ram to Gopal. He is intervening, showing his own intelligence in the name of Thakur. He, meaning the master, says that one becomes a Kuti Chaka after being a Bahudaka. Bahudaka, water of many places. Kuti Chaka means staying in one hut. He also tells us a parable. Once a bird sat on the mast of a ship. When the ship sailed through the mouth of the Ganges into the black waters of the ocean, they do not return from there. That is called black waters. It left the mast and flew north in search of land, but it found no limit to the water and so returned. After resting a while, it flew south. There too, it found no limit to the water. Panting for breath, the bird returned to the mast. Again, after resting a while, it flew east and then west, finding no limit to the water in any direction. At last, it settled down on the mast of the ship. That is telling Gopal not to go to the pilgrimage. Master, to the elder Gopal and the other devotees, as long as a man feels that God is there, he is ignorant. There means out of remote, out of our experience. But he attains knowledge when he feels that God is here. Here means all things of his experience. Here means his own heart. A man wanted a smoke. Thakur's very humorous illustration. He went to a neighbor's house to light the charcoal. It was the dead of night, and the household was asleep. After he had knocked a great deal, someone came down to open the door. At sight of the man, he asked, "Hello, what is the matter?" The man replied, "Can't you guess? You know how fond I am of smoking. I have come here to light my charcoal." The neighbor said, "Ha ha, you are a fine man indeed. You took the trouble to come and do all this knocking at the door. Why? You have a lighted lantern in your hand, so you could have ignited your charcoal with that." All laugh. So sometimes the brain is lost. What a man seeks is very near to him. That is what Thakur wants to show. Still he wanders about from place to place. Ram, sir, I now realize why a guru asked some of his disciples to visit the four principal holy places of the country. In India, four extremities, Badri or Badri Kedar in the north, Dwaraka in the west, Rameshwaram in the south, and Puri Jagannath Puri in the east. Sir, I now realize why Guru also asked some of his disciples to visit the four principal holy places of the country. Once having wandered about, the disciple discovers that it is the same here as there. Then he returns to the Guru. All this wandering is only to create faith in the Guru's words. It's Ram's own interpretation. After this conversation had come to an end, Sri Ramakrishna extolled Ram's virtues. He did not say no to Gopal. Gopal went. Master to the devotees, how many fine qualities Ram possesses, how many devotees he serves and looks after. To Ram, other told me that you showed him great kindness. Other, a beloved householder devotee of the master, had recently arranged some religious music at his house. The master and many devotees had been present, but other had forgotten to invite Ram, who was a very proud man, and had complained about it to his friends. So other had gone to Ram's house to express his regret for the mistake. Ram, it wasn't really others' mistake. I have come to know that Rakhal is to blame. Rakhal was given charge of inviting the people. But before he completed his sentence, Master, you mustn't find fault with Rakhal. He is a mere child. Even now, you can bring out his mother's milk by squeezing his throat. That is how he defines a child. Ram, sir, why should you speak that way? It was such an occasion and he did not invite me. Master, interrupting. Others simply didn't remember to invite you. He is absent-minded. The other day he went with me to Jadu Malik's house. As we took our leave, I said to him, you haven't offered anything to the goddess in the chapel. Sir, he said, I didn't know one should. So, some not knowing or forgetting. To Ram, suppose he didn't invite you to his house. Why such a fuss about going to a place where the name of the Lord was sung? One may go unasked to participate in religious music. One doesn't have to be invited. So finally, that is the conclusion. Nobody is at fault, you should have gone. Advice to an actor, Sunday, May 24, 1884. Quite a big jump. April 9th we are studying, April 5, and now May 24. Today we saw Thakur, many dimensions, doesn't like narrowness. Sufficient care has to be taken of father and mother. Only in the case of going to God, or if you are intoxicated with God, then father, mother, wife do not matter. And wife also has to be consulted once you are married. So all these practical instructions to the householders. And then small petty things should never be thought of. So I would like to read a little, but Sri Ramakrishna was sitting on this small coach in his room. Rakhal M and several other devotees were present. A special worship of Kali had been performed in the temple the previous night. That is the Palaharini Kali Puja, end of May or beginning of June. In connection with the worship, a theatrical performance of the Vidya Sundar had been staged in the Nat Mandir. Vidya Sundar is a character, and the village drama was made on that. The master had watched a part of it that morning next. The actors came to his room to pay him their respects. The master, in a happy mood, became engaged in conversation with a fair-complexioned young man who had taken the part of Vidya and played his part very well. So Vidya Sundar, Vidya is personified in a man. Master to the actor, your acting was very good. If a person excels in singing, music, dancing, or any other art, he can also quickly realize God, provided he strives sincerely. That provision is there. But in art, mind has to absolutely concentrate. In art, you have that feeling of relation with God. These are the two great things. Just as you practice much in order to sing, dance, and play on instruments, so one should practice the art of fixing the mind in God. So that much you have to do. Because you are able to concentrate on all these things, you will be able to concentrate on God also. One should practice regularly such disciplines as worship, japa, and meditation. Are you married? Any children? Actor. Yes, sir. I had a girl who died. Another child has been born. Master. A death and a birth, and all so quickly. We shall take up this tomorrow. ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु।